Oh, I'm nervous. So today is going to be a writing vlog, so welcome. First of all, it's the penultimate day before I wanted to finish my first draft, so I haven't finished yet. But that's fine. I haven't finished yet, but it's fine. So what I've decided to do today is do a 24-hour writing sprint to try and get it finished by tomorrow. I've got about 5,000 words left to reach my sort of guideline target of 90,000, but I think I'm going to go over my word count because I just don't think there's enough words to get to the end of the story. I also know that 5,000 words is a lot to write in 24 hours. So we'll see. I'm nervous. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock now, so I'm going to get started. But I'm going to keep writing until I finish, essentially. There are a few caveats. One, I have to go to Run Club today because I have a race in 3 weeks and it's somebody's birthday and I want to go and celebrate with them. The second caveat is if I need to sleep, I'm going to sleep and I will just keep writing. And then the third caveat is it may not be 24 hours, so I may not finish at 11 a.m. on the 22nd of August. It's the 21st today. So I think I'm just going to keep writing until I finish. And I've organised all my work so that all I have to do now is just write, go to Run Club, have a bit of a sleep, keep on top of my nutrition, and then just keep writing. So here we go. I'm going to be documenting it in this video. So I hope you enjoy. I'm feeling very positive at the moment. I'm on coffee number 1. I'll just grab it. It's really, really full. So, it's coffee number 1. I'm all ready. I've got the house to myself as well, which is quite nice. So I got the house to myself. The cats are all sorted. I'm ready to go. Ah! So 11 o'clock. Let's do this. So I'm almost an hour and a half in. I've just put some lunch on, so I thought I'd do a quick update. So we're on hour 2 already. Feels like I've been here 5 minutes. But I've written 681 words. And so that's huge. Normally that takes me a good few hours. But on the one hand, I know exactly what I wanted to write, and in my last writing session, I did a quick paragraph on what to catch up with, or like what I wanted to write in more detail. And then also, I know that I have got like this is the beginning of the marathon. So if we talk about it like a running marathon, I'm starting off strong. This is like the first 5K. I think I'm going to end up front loading my efforts. But I have finally hit 85,000 words. So I've only got 5,000 left before my minimum word target. So I'm happy about that because hopefully hopefully we'll get there before midnight. Hello, it is now 5 to 4 and I'm having just a little coffee break. I'm feeding the cats their like biscuits, which is what you can probably hear in the background. And I've just hit the 2,000 word mark. So yeah, 2,000 words in. I need another, I think just over 3,000 words to go, and then I've hit 90k. But I don't think that's the end of the story. As I said earlier, I think like I've still got like a good maybe 5 sequences that I want to include. And if we're talking about act structure, then I've got like a good couple of, well, at least 2 different, I don't know, it depends on what structure you follow, but like I know where I am. I'm not going to talk about act structure. I think that's just going to overcomplicate things in the first draft, and I don't really want that, so that's fine. But yeah, so I'm tired now. Like I said, I've like been getting sleep in the afternoon, so I think what I'm going to do is just have a little bit of a longer break now, and then see if I can just do like 45 minutes before I need to get changed and go to run club. And then I think like whatever I get done in that 45 minutes, I think will be, I'll just like leave as is, or not leave as is, but you know what I mean, like I'll be happy if I get like 100 words out, or I'll be happy if it's like, even if it's just like 20, do you know what I mean? But just sort of like go for as much as I can possibly do in the next 45 minutes after my slightly longer break, and then I've got run club. I finished writing for the day. It's 11:30 now. I finished writing at about 11 o'clock this evening, which is good. Obviously it's not consistent because I went out and did exercise earlier, but I think I've hit a good point. I'm like halfway to where the goal for like the 24 hours is word count wise. So I've done over 2,500 words today, which means I've only got 2.5-ish left before I reach 90,000, which is a huge goal. And like I'm really proud of myself for having even got close. But again, I do think the story's gonna supersede. I think it's gonna go way beyond 90k words. But I think as long as I reach 90k words by tomorrow, EOD, then I'll be happy, even if it means I have to go back to writing it a little bit more next week. that was me finishing the first draft of my novel. I didn't film the following day. I had loads on. I had to do loads of cleaning, I think. I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember the day itself. But I concluded the novel quite suddenly. Like it snuck up on me, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm done. And I hadn't been recording it. Because I got so busy. But it kind of felt quite anticlimactic, I think, at the time. And so I planned to do a conclusion to the video, and never did it. And at the time since then, I started the second draft, and I'd already got out of the habit of being on YouTube, so I didn't record that either. So we've done a little time jump, and it's not exactly a year. We're a little bit ahead of time, but it's been almost a year, and I'm back on YouTube, and I'm back to writing. So I did obviously finished the first draft, as I've just said, and then I did half of a second draft and wrote myself into a corner right before I started my part-time job. And I'm also doing a PhD. So what I did was I paused writing while I settled into my new job. I was trying to keep everything in a balance. I'm still trying to exercise, and I'm not race training, but exercise is really important for me as a person because I like it, but also because it's good for my mental health, my physical health, blah blah blah. So trying to keep everything in a balance was really difficult. So writing was the first thing I had to press pause on. But now I am back to it. So what I'm gonna do is just ramble a little bit, and I hope you enjoy it. But strap in. If you haven't already been sipping on a cup of coffee or tea, whatever your beverage of choice is, go get one, press pause, and then come back. We're just gonna have a little old chin wag. The first thing that I've had to do is figure out a time in my weekly schedule where I can spare 2 hours. I want 2 hours a week guaranteed, right? Where I can look at my screen and it's not going to give me a headache because I've been looking at my screen too long. I've had to try and find it, right? And the best time for me is Monday night. Tuesday, Wednesdays are my clinic days. I do very long days for them, but that's my 2 clinic days. Thursday, Friday, my PhD days, also very long days, also very screen heavy. But Monday, since I've been back on YouTube, I spend the morning editing the footage that I filmed the week before, schedule it for the following week or a couple of weeks down the line, depending. And then in that afternoon, I either do more filming, which is now, or if I don't need to do any filming because I've been doing a week in the life or whatever, I go to the gym or I go for a run then rather than in the evening. So I'm not fatigued from the day staring at a screen all day. I've been staring at a screen for the morning, and then the afternoon I go away and I do whatever. So Monday nights, I can do 2 hours staring at a screen, doing some writing. And that is the perfect time for me. Weekends, I can keep for myself to either go see my partner or hang out with friends. There's also a writing group where I'm friends with a lot of people that go anyway. I've been to a couple of the Thursday night sessions that they do online, but I've just been too busy recently to really invest in it. But Thursday nights they do a meetup, like I say, on Discord that I can join in if I feel like it. If I'm, Thursdays are PhD days, right? So if I've been reading a lot of book stuff or something like a journal article that I've been holding a physical copy and I feel like I can stare at a screen for a few more hours, then I have that dedicated writing time that I can join in on, and I don't have to attend every week. It's not guaranteed, but it's an extra bonus. They also, on a Sunday every other week, they do a meetup in person, and that would also be, I think for me, a really good idea, because that means that if I'm on a weekend where I'm feeling quite introverted and or if a lot of my other friends are busy, I can go along to the writing group, and I get some social time, which is really, really important to do even when I'm feeling really tired or introverted. I can go along, sit and do some work with other people, do a bit of body doubling. It works great, and I don't have to go every time.
I don't have to go at all if I don't want to, but I don't have to go every time. I can just poodle along. If I'm in the mood for it, I can take my iPad so I don't have to faff with unplugging my laptop for everything. And then when I come home, just transfer it into the document, have a read through, carry on with my Sunday evening plans. It's all gravy. And two birds, one stone in terms of hanging out with the people that I care about, that I'm friends with, having a lovely chat, and also getting some writing done. So I have the 2 hours guaranteed on a Monday, and then anything else is a wonderful bonus that I can still like invest in. I don't have to go every time. I can dip in and out as and when, but it's there if I need it. I just think that's a win-win. So the other thing about this novel is that when I started spinning more plates, which is the analogy I love to use, once I had more plates that I had to spin, and I chose to put some of the plates down, so that none of them fell and dropped. The writing was the first thing to be put down, um, and a big part of the reason for that is because when I was trying to fix the issues in my second draft, I wrote myself into a corner, and I haven't had the time, or when I have had the time to read through it, I can't figure out where I've gone wrong, and what needs stripping back to get me out of this sort of corner. Basically, like I've reached a dead end. I'm only halfway through the like final word count, but I'm like a third of the way through the plot, so I'm trying to figure out a way of pulling it back, and I just haven't given myself the time to do that. So I don't want to start again. That would be silly. I have a lot of good things in there that I want to keep. I did a lot of structural changes between the first draft and the start of the second draft. But what I think I'm going to do is start a new document and just copy and paste over like the first part of it, and I'll read through each bit. Like each section, like I say, I use Scrivener, so it's all laid out in these like really easy, digestible, I can move things around kind of structures. So I'm going to start a new document, and then I'm going to copy and paste over what I want to keep, and I'm going to read through each bit, and then hopefully that can start the like, or help me locate where it was that I went wrong, and then go back and see what led to that point. So yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. um I don't want to go into too much detail about what I've been writing specifically, but there was a bit where I think in the first draft I really really liked it, but in the second draft, like that, like I'm talking about a specific sequence of events, right? In the second draft, I kind of wrote my way around, like I would have missed that sequence, and so I tried to shoehorn it back in, and I think that's been the problem, is I'm not integrating that sequence of events into the narrative in a cohesive way. Like it feels very shoehorned, and it feels very wrong, and then that in itself is now sort of mutated into something that it was never supposed to be, because one of the characters from the first draft was not present for when it happened in the second draft, and actually they're quite vital to that sequence of events. And then because I've added the multiple points of view in the second draft, which solved a lot of problems, but it means that now that scene, which was supposed to be like really mysterious, now doesn't make sense because we have the mysterious character's point of view a few chapters before. So yeah, so it just needs a hell of a lot of structural review. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I need to work on, and then after that I need to figure out what, like I just need to plot it properly. Originally, when I started writing that first draft last summer, I wanted to be querying now. Basically August, September was when I was planning on starting to look for agents, because I want to go down the traditional publishing route. That's still the case. I'm still going to follow that. Now, I obviously I'm not ready to do that, far from it, but I think I'm going to give myself another 12 months before I start querying, which means I can, if we work backwards from, say, the 1st of September, let's give myself a deadline, the 1st of September, and work backwards, I want to have at least 6 months to edit a finished draft. So I want to be able to read through it, change anything within that document. I don't want to be rewriting another document if I don't have to. Or manuscript, I should say, not document. But I don't want to be rewriting another manuscript. So I want to be going through the one that I'm working on now, or that I'm going to be starting again with half of the second draft. I want to be going through that over and over again and fine-tuning it, doing any spelling and grammar edits, changing what I need to change to make it more coherent, tying up any loose threads. That's what I want to be doing from the beginning of April to the 1st of September. That will give me roughly 6 months to be able to do that. So working backwards from there, starting today, because I'm going to start it today, until I think the 31st of March is going to be my final deadline. I'm going to be finishing this third draft. So I've talked about how I'm going to sort of go through the plot structure on the wall. But yeah, I'm going to be starting that literally today. I will also be talking about it on my channel every now and again. We're just gonna. I don't really know what this channel's supposed to be fully about. I do PhD stuff. I write a novel. I have a part-time job. I do some crafty stuff. I read a lot. I hope you enjoy it. I'm just multifaceted. Yeah, I hope you are genuinely enjoying these videos, and yeah, if you are, please don't forget to like and subscribe, or leave a comment. Let me know if you're doing any creative writing, or you're doing anything else that I do that you want to share. Talk to me. I love hearing from people and chatting to people. Leave a comment, and not just to boost my video, just to say hi. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be notified. You can also follow me on Instagram, just froshi.evans, if you don't already. I think most of you do. I think that's how most of you find these videos. But yeah, just come say hi. And I will see you again next week.